Hey y'all. Ooh, my hair. I am in my yard. I came over. I just put a little bit on my private group, creative community with Sarah Thurman, but I know more of y'all follow me on this. So I wanted to just show you some of my flowers. I'm home for a few hours. It's about 2 hours. My son filled up my car this morning, so I don't have to, stop anywhere. I did bring wipes just in case I needed that. But I didn't have to stop, so I just wanted to show you, do a little walkabout in my garden. And I'm taking some of my flowers home with me, home meaning back to my son's house. But the fruit trees are amazing, and so my daughter-in-law showed me how I can do this. But I'm just going to show you some of my plants. They're just really fun. Oh, and here's a little bird up here. So here we go. See this sweet little chameleon? He's been on my plant. He's green right now. But this is these I won't be taking. This is garlic chives. I probably had them for about 10 years. I absolutely love them. This is some of my succulents with some bird seeds scattered in there. Petunia plant. My hummingbirds came a week ago a week ago Saturday. I've seen them some today, but I'll just leave my hummingbird feeder here. I did pour out an inch of rain that I've had since I've been gone. This is Niger seed, and I did see the birds here today. They're lesser goldfinch. They're black and yellow. They were there. These need a little fertilizer, these pansies, but I'm not so worried about them because it's going to be getting hot this week, and I'm pinching off the dead blooms. But y'all, this plant I'm taking back home with me, hanging basket. It's so beautiful, and yeah, I'll find a place for it in Medina. This is tongue, and yeah. Oh, Melissa, I'll show you the Brussels sprouts. There, I pulled them because they weren't growing and they were getting pill bugs underneath them when I get out there. But here's some more of my pansies that I'm leaving, and a little marigolds I planted there, right there. Oh, but let me show you these. So sorry, it's so dizzy. Sorry. Okay, this plant, y'all, I have to look at the name of it. I got it the other day. I'm taking it home. It is a Scabosa butterfly blue. So they're great for butterflies and full sun. So I'm taking this back. Look at that bloom. Isn't it gorgeous? So, yeah. I mean, the intricacy of how it's just so cool. And then this is a Gerber daisy. Oh, y'all, my friend gave this to me 2 years ago, and look at this. I told her our friendship is never going to die. Like, look at this. It's so beautiful. I'm definitely taking it. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blooms right there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 coming up. Like, it is just so beautiful. Gerber daisy is one of my favorites, and it is just fabulous. This is a new plant I'd gotten. So it was on sale at Lowe's or at Home Depot the other day. And it is a yellow bulbine. Never had this before. South African bulbs, fleshy leaves that make beautiful flowers. Grows best it doesn't like wet feet. Yep. So full sun is okay. So when it says full leaves, the leaves are a little bit like aloe vera. They're very thick. But anyway, there's a new little bloom coming right there. See that? Isn't that pretty? So, but look at that Gerber daisy, y'all. Oh, my word. So excited about that. Okay, I'm going to go down my stairs, get you a little dizzy. There's the workshop, and I do need to call my son. He wants a few tools out of it. So here I'm taking this geranium home, and this definitely needs water. I need to go water it. This is, salvia. I didn't know the name of it, but yeah, pretty little purple bloom. And then some geraniums I'll take as well. Yeah, there's a Axis deer horns in Wayman's workshop. Oh, and y'all, I have to show you this. Like, look. So those hearts right there is the window Looking into the window, Wayman made me that part of his workshop. He made me a little bench and he cut those hearts out for me. And I just look at him right now. I'm like, oh, he knew I loved hearts and he just did that. Yeah, and I see that window is still up, but I think it's probably. I wanted to show you the fruit trees. They're not totally covered with blooms, and I don't really know why. That right there, that one is a pomegranate. It's just starting to get a little bit of greenery on it. And this apple tree is not blooming yet. The blackberries are putting on new leaves, and there's a raspberry right there. And it's coming. But this plum tree right here has got leaves and no blooms. Here, oh yeah, so this is another plum tree. This is a green plum, and there's landed. I think you can see it. Yeah, right there. So beautiful. It's very fragrant out here. So I'm really glad to come home today to see the trees. So the apricot tree, this one has a lot of blooms. It's cool. And in fact, even the ground is covered. This is our smaller apricot tree because the other one died. This was a branch that came up. And so hope that it will live. But we have plum trees. But this plum tree decided not to bloom. It has all the green leaves. I don't know. I don't really know. My son knows more about them than I do. I'm going to walk over here. So this is a persimmon. It has just now starting to put out. You can see no, just green right there at that intersection. Had scratched and I never covered it with soil, sadly. Okay, y'all, now into the garden. And I remember one time last year I was doing this and there was a snake and I about jumped out of my skin. So I planted these onions about 4 weeks ago, probably 4 or 5 weeks ago. And they're looking good. I planted some basil in the middle of them and a couple of pepper plants. So those are looking good. This is arugula and lettuce. I pulled some of the lettuce today. Planted a few zinnias because I really like that. And then I had planted some tomato plants. There's thyme right here. This is thyme and tomato. And that's arugula. I'm going to pick some of that before I leave today. Tree in the corner is just putting out leaves, no blooms. And this If you look, it's very peppery. I planted a few onions here. This is where my Brussels sprouts were, and I planted a tomato. So I'm going to go show you. This is the guava. And then I pulled all of the broccolini today, and I'm going to pick some of this kale. It's about gone, but I'll cut some of it to bring back to Medina. A little cilantro right there. And then these onions definitely are so much smaller than the other ones, y'all. I think it's because they didn't have as much water. And then I'll pick this kale as well. This is Tuscan. A few herbs and some arugula, asparagus, kale to take back with me. So when it gets warm, which this week it's going to be into the 90s, then the kale goes, and arugula. I don't know really about it. It was all of this came up volunteer. So I love y'all. Hope you're doing well. And one of the things that I read earlier today on my creative community with Sarah Thurman. And by the way, if you place. And so there's something to be said, y'all, about declaring, using our words to say, my trust is in you, God. I declare this over my family. And that we do not fall into this place of fear, that we can rise up in faith and believe that God is following. He absolutely knows what's going on. He knows what's happening. And y'all, we are getting time with family. And that's why I just came to my home today for a few hours, but I'm headed back to be with my family. I really need to be with them for my own emotional stability. I need to be with people that love me. It's not really good that would be home alone. And that's just where I am in that vulnerable state. But I know that I declare that God is good. So yeah, in the land of the living, just pray for y'all that are on the front lines, that God will give you a protection and that you declare protection, that you say, the virus will not come into my house, the virus will not come into my car, the virus will not come into my body. And we